Good evening, chat. Let's try that now. Why are we? Hold on. Good evening, chat. Hello, everybody. Why is my... Oh, the hair gets annoying every time. Anyways, good evening, chat. Hi, guys. That was... Was not expecting that. Hold on. Let me know if this volume... Can you guys hear me now? Okay, there we go. That should be good. That should be good. Spit you guys out. Hello. I finally erased swapped. All right, chat. Oh, more countdown. We're not doing more countdown. Anyway, guys, good evening. It's Saturday night. We are going to be talking about the Alyssa Mercante lawsuit against SMASHJT. And, it's... I'm going to sit here and tell you it's a good lawsuit. It's not. And there's going to be some things in it that people are automatically laughing about. And I think it's okay to pick out, some of this stuff is not good. But I think they're laughing at it for the wrong reasons or looking at it for the wrong issues. So we're going to get started on this. I mean, there's a lot there. Are you going to go over that Riley thing apparently or not dismissed? It's not clear what's happened there. I haven't seen... I'm going to have to go get some documents on that because I didn't know it was going still. I thought it was set for trial and that was it. Apparently, Riley filed a motion to quash and some of the case has been dismissed, but it appears some of the case is still going. So I don't think it's over yet. Who knows really what's there yet? I haven't had a chance to do it. So, yes, we will take a look at that. But that one, it's going to require a little... I'm going to have to do some digging because I don't think this stuff's available online. But also, I thought we had time, so I wasn't going to worry about it right away. Okay, let's see, where are we at here? Also, guys, welcome if you are new. My name is Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and this isn't a defense or criminal law related issue, but it's important. It's part of the culture. It's part of the culture war. This is a offshoot of, you can call this part of Gamergate, I guess, or Gamergate adjacent or ish. But we are going to be going through here. Yes, SMASHJT's channel is really good. And also, guys, later tonight, I'll be going on with Flash. Yell Flash, he wants to talk about this and go through it. I don't know if JT is going to be there, but definitely join. It'll be a fun time. It'll be at 10:30 minus or after, and then including his whenever he starts with his big intro. So anyway, we're going to get started with this. So Alyssa Mercante, she's the former senior editor at Kotaku. And Kotaku was Games website, Games website. I know they like to call themselves that, but Kotaku is just garbage. And they ended up becoming part of, Gamergate. And it's hard for me to explain Gamergate in a 20-second thing here. But Gamergate is something that goes all the way back to the first Trump administration. And it's weird to say it like that, but it is. Gamergate goes all the way back. And by it really does go all the way back. People have alleged we're kind of a Gamergate too. Now, it depends on who you ask. But Gamergate, if it's considered by... this became a political thing and a culture war type of thing. So if you ask people who are left-leaning, Gamergate was a harassment campaign by the alt-right and the Nazis and the evil people out there and the trolls. It's just not very nice people. That is their story of Gamergate. It's misogynistic and racist and horrible. And it was really just a big backlash of, diversity, like DEI being shoved into games and destroying games. You saw people people in the industry like Zoe Quinn and, games were being pushed around and gaming reviewers were pushing narratives and only highlighting games that supported their political ideology and political beliefs. Just another attempt to shit all over a hobby. And remember, chat, gatekeep your hobbies. Gatekeep your hobbies. Don't let people fuck them up. And this is one example of what happened. And Wiki has the approved narrative for Gamergate. Yeah. And all it really came down to is just having ethical games journalism. Games journalists who were ethical, they disclosed who they were, what they were about, how they were being compensated, their relationships, any sort of agreement they'd have. But they didn't have any of that, and they completely sold their soul. Whatever little souls they had to start with, because they're a bunch of disgusting communists. Remember, communists aren't people. And yes, it was all to own the chuds. But yes, Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn, and Alyssa Mercante, those are great examples of it. Those are like the Mount Rushmores of communism infiltration into the games journalism. That's the best way to describe it. Yes, always gatekeep your hobbies. It's a civic duty. Yes. And Frosk is one as well. There are all kinds of people we could start with. There. Now, before you guys get too far, who is Alyssa Mercante? Well, you can see her on the thumbnail. She is the former senior editor at Kotaku, and she just talks shit all the time. And now she's crying because somebody has called her out for all her bullshit. And she's cried, and she filed a lawsuit about it. Jefferson Post says the side scrollers with Stuttering Craig has a good video on the Gamergate saga. I wasn't aware of it back when it happened, so it's a good history lesson. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not even doing it justice, but having lived through it, it's just hard to explain. It's hard to explain how this stuff all came about, but it did. And it's almost like right now, it'd be like right now asking some guy in 1946, explain to me how World War II happened. He'd be like, okay, look, we're still catching up on it. But yes, I would say a great resource of information about Alyssa Mercante is on the forums. They've documented her, and she's a complete lunatic in her own right. Yes, typical BPD cry bullying, and that's what it is here, Stephanie. Thank you for being here. Yes, and that's all this is. That's all this is. And we're going to get to really, as I put in there, Alyssa Mercante, her lawyers, are lol cows themselves. Like, it's all hilarious in this side of it. She's got complete lunatics for lawyers. And then we have SMASHJT, and he's got a great lawyer. He's got a pretty good lawyer. And it's funny how much they're shitting on him already. In the Alyssa Mercante thread, or her Twitter, what she posted about her lawsuit, they were actually going at this guy for being a Jew, which is rather hilarious given who they are and what they claim to be. But SMASHJT is being represented by the illustrious Ron Coleman. So let's go, chat. Let's go. And apparently Clyde is already getting in trouble, but that's not good. I hope I don't have to go out and get him. Anyway, this all started not a while ago. But Alyssa Mercante had filed a cease and desist letter against Jeff Tarzia, as also known as Smash, also known as JT. And she did this a couple of months ago. And in the meantime, Alyssa got fired from her job at Kotaku. Now, she's claiming that didn't happen that was all not related. And we're going to get to her already catching up and getting in trouble. But let's get started with the lawsuit here. It's been 10 minutes. We got everybody in here. It's time to roll. It is time to roll. So we're going to start off with, and we got to get all the way up. Here we are, chat. Here we are. This has been filed a couple days ago in the Eastern District Court of New York. So this is in federal court. And you guys might wonder, well, hey, if the SDNY is in New York City, where's the Eastern District Court? In Brooklyn. And yes, guys, this is one of those places where their district courts are like right all on top of each other and right across town. So it's the Eastern District of New York. And that's Alyssa lives out that way too. So that's why they're filing it there. Right. So it's Alyssa Mercante against Jeff Tarzia. And there you go. That's why it's SMASHJT. Very, very basic here. So, Irham Amin is fighting for, are her lawyers unhinged as old Coat Crackett? Pretty much. The law firm KUSK, these guys are, they've got their own breed of goofiness and ridiculousness in the law firm. So one of the attorneys of the firm that's representing her, the guy tried to copyright pictures of his kids because the farms were doxing him, and he fucking spurred out over it. Like, there's all kinds of cringe and hilariousness there. So don't worry. And the guy that's pushing for her right now, we're going to get to him. You know, he cries in this lawsuit about himself. Like, that's never a good sign when you're an attorney. You cry in the filing about how they treat you. Oh, poor baby. But that's one of the things we're going to get to. It's one of the things we're going to get to here. So let's go, chat. Let's go. Oh, and Linda is saying, off topic, the celebrity wing of Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center is going to be at capacity this Christmas. Hashtag the Alexander brothers. Yes. And also, if you guys were not aware, yes, that was that super chat was in Indonesian rupees. So there you go. So here we go. We're going to get back to this. So this is really the beginning of this is really a preamble, and it's just kind of the story of things. And it says, modern game journalism is marked by the presence of semi-organized, outrage-driven campaigns for harassment. Like 2014's infamous Gamergate. Now, they list Gamergate as using the Wikipedia Gamergate entry. Okay. And they go on to say, in 2024, a small Montreal-based narrative development. Notice, narrative development. They're acknowledging what they are. Sweet Baby Incorporated. And they are a consulting company who their job was to inject narratives into games. That's what they were there for. And they found itself the center of a fresh controversy, incorrectly accused by Gamergate enthusiasts of forcibly inserting gender, sexual, or ethnic minority characters into games, or otherwise tweaking its narrative presentation to favor a general liberal bent. Which part of that is wrong so far? Because that's pretty fucking accurate what Sweet Baby Incorporated was doing. I mean, it was like, what were they not doing? What was not happening here? Because this is just, yeah. Alyssa Mercante was, anyways, and it goes on. Alyssa Mercante was a senior editor at the gaming news website blog Kotaku, one of the longest running and most successful gaming news websites. Well, back in the day, it used to be good. And they say Kotaku, along with its parent company, Geo Media, has its primary place of business in New York, and it does. Kotaku has long enjoyed the derision and ire of a certain set of alt-right trolls online for its perceived liberal or leftward bias in covering games. That is correct. Well, I wouldn't say alt-right, but yes, people just don't like the liberal and leftward bias. They just want fucking video games. They just want games. They don't need you interfering with it. And yeah, it's absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. As this goes on, those critical of Kotaku gather in special Reddit forums. I mean, how many of them in Reddit? But I mean, there's some. And elsewhere to mock and harass its employees. Oh no, that people are making fun of journalists. Remember, chat, you think you hate journalists, but you really don't hate them enough. You don't hate them enough. And it was done at a Reddit called R Kotaku in Action. Among these vociferous and ceaseless critics is Jeff Tarzia, social media influencer who publishes videos related to video games on the popular online video platforms YouTube and Rumble under the moniker SMASHJT. Tarzia has declared Kotaku to be everything wrong with the video game industry. No lies detected. Jeff is 100% correct. In fact, Tarzia created a petition at change.org to have Kotaku shut down, stating, "We demand accountability from Kotaku." Okay? And exhorting his viewers to join this movement to uphold the standards we as a community deserve in the video game industry. Yes, we just want ethical journalism. Ethical journalism. It did not stop there. He created a page on his website called Kotaku Detected, where he maintains a comprehensive list of individuals who work, have worked, or in some way related to Kotaku, with the intent to spotlight the people behind their content and hold them accountable for their actions. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. You know, scumbags detected. You're allowed to do this. There's no problem. It's just like on Steam, somebody had set it up where you could identify games influenced by Sweet Baby Incorporated. There's nothing wrong with this so far. None of this is wrong. You are allowed to do this. None of this is illegal. The vast majority of individuals listed on Tarzia's and Kotaku page are women, people of color, non-binary individuals, people on the LGBTQ+, keep this in mind, guys, spectrum, and or Jewish people. Well, who are the vast majority of the employees that work at Kotaku who are doing this shit? I mean, we're upset. Like, he's only listing a bunch of people. It's like, okay, well, these groups of, you know, subversive communists and scumbag elements, who are they composed of? Well, women, people of color, non-binary individuals, LGBTQ plus people on their spectrum. Well, they are on a spectrum, many of them, and or Jewish people. Like, okay. Okay, is he making it up or what's happening here? You know, it sounds like a bunch of affluent white people who live in Brooklyn who really don't understand the world. So, like, that, if that's who they are, if that's who the class is composed of, how is this bad? It just is what it is. Yes, they prefer to be called Jews. But it's also funny because JT has hired a highly devout Orthodox Jew as his attorney. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird. So some of you guys, your comments are great here. So keeps going. And then here's Alyssa Mercante. Here's her picture again, chat, where she went on here and she was taunting people that she wanted people to actually come fight her in real life. Just like a complete dumb fuck. So anyway, Tarzia is not a mere bystander or collateral commentator by his own admission. Okay, yeah. He has exhorted his followers to join us, holding these individuals responsible for their contributions to the current state of games journalism. Once again, that's not, you're allowed to say that. Tarzia took aim at Alyssa after Mercante published. See, this is just a weird way to phrase all this. Tarzia took aim. Why wouldn't you just say Tarzia took aim at Alyssa after she published? Because you're almost like, you wouldn't redo the name if, like, you're not implying it's someone else. There's some times where this is just, I think, weirdly worded in the grammar. It's just a little, I think it's unnecessary. Anyway, published an article refuting many of the lies, fabrications, and distortions around the consulting business Sweet Baby Incorporated. Okay. For those clamoring for Sweet Baby Incorporation's demise, chose the appellation Gamergate 2.0 for themselves. Enterprising grifters tapped into that wave of rising outrage to lift their own profiles. Okay. Mercante's debunking the conspiracy theory against Sweet Baby led to Tarzia beginning a campaign of hatred and harassment against Mercante, making hundreds of posts and videos about her. Well, when you jump out there defending something, yeah, people are going to focus on you. When you're carrying the banner man gets noticed. Tarzia's channel and therefore his notoriety and revenue grew exponentially due to his content about Mercante. Yeah, because she's fucking insufferable. In the beginning, much of Tarzia's content was legal. It was hyperbolic, vitriolic, incorrect, conspiratorial, paranoid, juvenile, and crass, but legal. Oh, what a fucking look, just cry baby bullshit. Where? Like, but in the fast-moving world, the outrage-driven internet, unless content creators are providing fresh salt for their consumers, you know, this is where you're trying real hard to sound hip and on the terms, but you're not, you know, you're providing something. You're more mining salt. You're not providing it. But, the consumers will move to an outraged merchant who shouts louder, uses more profanity. It feeds their need for a stimulated hatred of a perceived enemy. I mean, like, remember, we're talking about Alyssa Mercante. Like, she ran around taunting people, challenging to fight them, and acting like a complete bitch. Like, is that what we want? Is that what we're, you know? I love how it's I love that's how we're there with this. I just if you guys have never seen this here, hold on. We're gonna bring this up real quick. This is her. If you guys have never seen this before.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder. Maybe say, we don't want you around if you're going to be a cunt.
Yeah.
And hateful. The games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse. Because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
3 days later.
Let's get ready to rumble. In this corner, we have the funk body snatcher.
So anyway, she wants, you know, she remember that, you know, oh, it's all horrible. It's like, yeah, okay. What an insufferable bitch when it comes to that stuff. You're, you know, it's not like casting those stones there, Alyssa, casting them stones. Anyway, thus Tarzia was never going to be satisfied with simply criticizing Mercante. His desire and need, it's his desire to sustain his growth as an influencer, meant that eventually he would cross the line from protected speech and conduct to illegal, unprotected speech and conduct. Yeah, that's not really a guaranteed thing here, but okay, you do you. We'll keep going with this. We'll see what, we'll let them cook. We'll let them cook, chat, because they might be getting here. Let's see what they're cooking. So on or about September 8th, Tarzia was given an opportunity to recant his lies and reduce the vitriol in the discourse. And this is when Alyssa Mercante sent him a cease and desist letter. And they threatened him with, oh, we'll be doing it right away. You know, and then 4 months later, Tarzia took the opportunity to double down on the content, finding new ways to become even worse in tone, content, and directedness of his attacks and calls for harassment. Okay, I mean, yeah. You know, we need to pull every lever to get activists out of the game industry. Yeah, why is that a bad thing? Why is this a bad thing here? He was going to pull every lever. He's going to be a bad man. Oh, no. Since receiving the indication his conduct was illegal. Well, no, according to you, it's illegal. That's conclusory. This is a conclusory statement. It was illegal. And that it violated numerous state and federal laws. Once again, conclusory. You actually don't know that yet. You believe it has. But that's not clear at all. Tarzia has not only continued to produce content about Mercante, but has continued the same conduct which allegedly transgressed the rather lenient boundaries afforded to him. Tarzia JT's conduct, which began with him, did not end with him. That was by design. So you're saying, wow, this seems really like drama kiddish. Oh, yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. As a result of the focus on Mercante, her rising star in video games journalism, she became a target for further harassment that eventually led to her resignation from Kotaku. Okay. We're gonna get to that because there's some spots here where like there's a bit of a, is it really her resignation? We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. They say so. This case is simply not simply of one being mean to someone on the internet. Exactly. That's all this is. That's all this is. That's all this is. That's all this is, chat. This is all this is Alyssa Mercante not liking the fact that JT is just reaming her out for being a complete piece of shit. I mean, you know, that she sucks and that she's a hack and she's infusing politics into all kinds of things here, but that's all she's doing. So that's all this is. That's all this is at the end of the day, guys. That's all it is. Sorry, my nose is so stuffed up today. This is a case where an outraged merchant looking to boost his own profile has latched onto a journalist merely covering the noteworthy stories of the day. Is it really covering the noteworthy stories of the day? All right. And made it his mission to lie, distort, and fabricate about for views and clout until she leaves the industry, rather than this case being about the free speech of Jeff Tarzia. This is about, well, and it is, though. It is entirely about the free speech of Jeff Tarzia. It is about a coordinated message harassment campaign aimed at ultimately aimed at silencing Alyssa Mercante via the old-fashioned and illegal tactics of yellow journalism. Libel, harassment, violation of civil rights, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress. That people retire from the marketplace of all ideas together, rather than face the daily attacks of a mindless and savage mob. The daily attacks, so it sounds like it's, yes, you don't want to face people's shit talking. It's okay. You can just admit that. You don't like the fact people think you suck. Oh, well. Oh, well, chat. Oh, darn. That's so sad. It's so sad. And yes, JDev, didn't she dox people? Yes. Yes, she has. So this is getting there. So, well, we're going to continue here. The parties. Alyssa is a resident of the state of New York and the county of Kings. That guys, and before you start making jokes, the county of Kings. Kings County is a real place. It's Brooklyn. So she lives somewhere in Brooklyn, New York. That's where the Eastern District is. Her address is redacted, and here's something to remember, chat. This is something we're going to cover here. Her address is redacted herein due to threats. Made against her as the basis of this lawsuit, but such information will be revealed to the court in camera. And then she may be served with any process through her counsel of record identified below. Yeah, here we go. And then we move on from that. Well, we can't have people's addresses. We don't know anything. And we clearly know that JT had already said he retained Ron Coleman. Anyways, Jeff Tarzia is a resident of the state of California. His address may be served with process. And I'm not going to dox him and intentionally talk about his address, but you can see it's right there. I'm not going to alter the court filing with that, but isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? We're worried about our safety, but we're not worried about his? Huh. Just a little weird. Just a little weird, isn't it? Oh my God. It's like it's a fucking harassment campaign. But what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? What do I know? So let's keep going here. This got diversity jurisdiction, and that's because Alyssa Mercante, and that's, guys, remember, in federal court, you have to have a reason to be in federal court. You could sue under federal law. That automatically gets you in. Or if you're not, and you're suing under state law action, you have to have diversity jurisdiction, and you have to have an amount in controversy greater than $75,000. And diversity jurisdiction is that you guys are not from the same state. So that's how they're doing this. And they're saying Alyssa is a citizen of the state of New York. Okay. Jeff is the citizen of the state of California. Perfect. You've got diversity jurisdiction. JT has directed his activities toward the state of New York via his Kotaku campaign on his Twitter, website, and YouTube videos. Now they're arguing all of these are accessible in the state of New York and targeted at the people of the state of New York. Now, it's not just the people of New York, but it's people in New York. So they have to establish, in civil procedure, you have to establish that the defendant has availed themselves to personal jurisdiction and is eligible for personal jurisdiction in that state. So Alyssa has to prove that there's personal jurisdiction for JT. Now, if JT were to show up and defend the case, he'd be consenting to personal jurisdiction. But if JT, and he wouldn't do this because he's got a smart lawyer, they wouldn't immediately just agree to personal jurisdiction. They'd say, prove that you have jurisdiction over him. So they have subject matter jurisdiction because of the issues there, the different states of diversity and the amount in controversy, but they have to have personal jurisdiction. So now they're establishing that he's availing himself. It has minimal contacts. And once again, Chad, if you ever want to learn about minimal contacts in the civil procedure realm, there's a Supreme Court case called International Shoe. And it lays out the concept of minimal contacts and long arm statutes. At some point, we'll go over that, but just so you understand there, that is one. So this is sufficient to show he has maintained minimal contacts in the state of New York as not to offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. And that's the reason why we have it, is the minimal contacts. So, for example, guys, I've never been to the state of Washington. I've never conducted business in the state of Washington. So if somebody who lived in the state of Washington tried to sue me in Washington, well, I'd be able to say, what the fuck? I've never been here before. This isn't fair to me. How do I deal with this? That's what minimal contacts protects you from. Getting hauled into court like that in a place you've never been in, there's no reason for you to be there, and they have no authority over you. The amount of controversy is more than $75,000. And they argue because JT's enterprise is largely built off and dedicated to disparaging, harassing, intimidating, and stalking of Alyssa Mercante. I'm sure he's done a lot of other stuff. And they say his income has exceeded 75 G's in the calendar year 2024 alone. And at least $75,000 of that is directly based upon the factually false statements made by JT about Alyssa. Yeah, that's a very specific allegation. I don't know how you know that. I mean, unless you went on Social Blade and started counting out videos and trying to do CPM, but you don't know his CPM rate. I mean, there's no way to necessarily know all that. There's no way to know that. There's no way to know that. There's no way to know that. This is also if there's a response to this by Ron, they're going to be like, this is too much garbage shoved into a thing here. And that's the problem, chat. I will say there's problems with this. They shove multiple statements. These paragraphs are, these are compound statements. You can't respond to all of this. Like they're going to have to break this back up because this is just garbage to read through. So anyways, the facts, the history of Gamergate. In August 2014, a man named Aaron posted to his blog accusing his ex-girlfriend, Zoe Quinn, of sleeping with a Kotaku journalist for a favorable review of her independent video game Depression Quest, which was absolute fucking garbage, by the way. That blog post spread internet forums like 4chan, 8chan, and Reddit, where the organized campaign formed against numerous targets such as women in the gaming industry. And it's not against women in the gaming industry, it's against left-wing women in the gaming industry who are attempting to shove all their bullshit into video games. Games journalists perceived to be biased or who promoted a liberal left-wing slant in their coverage. Yeah. So notice it's not just women, but it's journalists who are promoting. They admit it. They admit it's an issue. They admit it's an issue. And the game developers who produce a video game seen as catering to audiences other than straight white men. Well, I mean, who's buying your video games? And even then, you can make your own video games, just don't fucking... They just wouldn't acknowledge that they were being captured by this bullshit and going along with it, trying to make a buck. So anyway, actor Adam Baldwin, the good Baldwin, described this harassment campaign as Gamergate on August 2017, 2014. Prominent influencers adopted the term, which widely spread. The Gamergate targets Kotaku. Kotaku became a central target of this through the subforum Kotaku in Action. Kotaku describes itself as an inclusive site for gamers of any ethnicity, gender, or sexual orientation. At Kotaku, we expect our writers and commentators to treat those they write about as they would if they met them in person, not mistaking honesty with cruelty, approaching everything in good faith, and affording people grace are paramount to creating a good culture within the site. Then why'd they hire Alyssa? Why did they hire Alyssa? Just saying. Just makes you think. Makes you think. They argue because Kotaku's editorial position is left of center and inclusive, it is a lightning rod for the type of criticism wielded by JT and his ilk. As demonstrated by JT's mission at Kotaku, Kotaku itself is a shibboleth in the gaming journalism industry. It is the eidolon of the enemy for people like Tarzia. They talk about Alyssa. Until the campaign of harassment took the toll he intended to, Alyssa was just a senior editor at Kotaku. Alyssa has written for other publications such as Jalopnik Garbage, Jezebel Garbage, Games Radar Garbage, SFX Garbage, and Rolling Stone, even more hot garbage. Alyssa is also active on social media, where she is not a demure, wilting flower. She is bold, brassy, and opinionated. Doesn't this kind of go against the idea of her being some little victim being picked on? You're arguing she's a firebrand herself. She's a little firecracker. She can dish it out. She can take it. This is not what I'd put in here. I would have left this part out. Why would you, you're arguing she's not a demure, wilting flower, so she's resilient and strong. Keep this in mind, chat. She's resilient and strong. But they're going to make some allegations that say she's not. Huh. We're going to get, once again, you know, are these guys, are they... We'll keep going. Because of Mercante's prominent role, outspoken views, and position at Kotaku, she became a target for the ire of Tarzia and his ilk. His ilk. That's right, chat. If you're not some sort of LGBT communist, you are evil. It's like, wow. Better dead than red, I guess. Mercante was a female journalist active in the video game space, lived through Gamergate the first time, and is perfectly poised to report on its re-emergence. As a result of the dedicated campaign against her, Mercante left her position at Kotaku. Once again, chat, she left her position. Remember, the idea is she left her position. They're claiming she left her position. Without the relentless focus, the managerial staff would have never felt any pressure to part ways with her. Yeah, because it's not like she was okay, well, no, we'll get to that. JT is a former game industry worker, a former recruiter, and a former game tester, and former game master at Sony. If you guys didn't know that, so he has a bit of pedigree himself. In California, he currently makes his living as an influencer within the video game and popular culture space. With his own website, and he does, SMASHJT has his own website, YouTube channel, and various social media pages. Tarzia covers video games and video game culture from a generally right of center to a conservative point of view. You know, just saying I don't want Mario and Luigi to have dildos and pegging each other. I don't want Peach pegging Mario is apparently right of center. Just saying, that just seems a little weird. Tarzia fits within the culture phenomenon known as the alt-right. The alt-right, chat. We're hammering on this. The alt-right in 2024. They're unironically saying this. This is serious. Well, alt-right. Okay. Yes. Not the alt-right. No. Just Cause says no pegging in games. What are you, a prude? Why are you being such a prude? Don't be prude. So, it's a loosely affiliated group of mostly younger conservative pundits who eschew the traditional trappings of conservatism and flavor a much more activist, confrontational style. So it's conservatives who aren't bitch-made. Notice they're not going into they're all being Nazis, which you kind of thought they were going to do. So anyways, video games and video game culture have long been a fertile recruiting ground for right-wing politics. Because in the games, you can say the gamer words. And there's certainly been a lucrative demand for creators within that space. JT markets himself to and uses the language of the alt-right within the space of video games and video game culture. He operates a YouTube channel in the popular video sharing and publication platform, also known as YouTube, under the name SMASHJT. He also operates a Twitter account under the username SMASHJT. He operates a website at www.smashjt.com. And they say, on information and belief, he is the sole and exclusive publisher of content on SMASHJT YouTube channel, the Twitter account, and the website. Now, that's important, chat, because if they're suing him and they're attributing all these statements to him, if they thought other people were involved, those people might be liable themselves. So that's why they're pointing out there are no other contributors ever credited for the media produced by these outlets. So that's why that, if you're wondering why this part is in here, that's important. Okay, that's an actual thing. As much as I think these guys suck, this is something you do need to show, because let's say Valiant Renegade and him did stuff and he put stuff up there, and there were statements that were actually made by Valiant Renegade and not JT. And I know Valiant's out there somewhere doing things in Louisiana, probably eating craw bugs and shooting gators or whatever it is they do for fun down there on a Saturday night. But he understands the point of, if he was using him, for example, and he had done work on there, if anything he said was not attributable to JT, they would have to sue him and not JT. So that's why they're saying JT is the sole generator of this content. All right. So the content JT publishes on the channel is available and accessible throughout the United States, including the state of New York. And that's how they're trying to establish the minimal contacts here. I don't know if that's going to be really enough in that regard, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Much of the content is targeted specifically at Alyssa Mercante and Kotaku by name. Okay. Well, you're the hot thing. You're the hot thing to talk about. It hasn't been the only thing he's done. I mean, that's kind of how that works. You are allowed to like focus on things. Oh, heck, that just happens. That's not a abnormal thing here. That's like, I just don't know what we're complaining about with that regard. So and to really get to this, because JT doesn't do he doesn't do a ton of lives, but he does a lot of videos, chat, and here are the videos he does. So yeah, right now in the past day or two, Alyssa's gone buck wild on him. So yeah, he probably should be talking about that. But in the meantime, it said then he's talking about Intergalactic killing off Naughty Dog. But BioWare's had some issues. Yeah, there's a Kotaku thing. There's Gamergate. You know, there's an issue with Perfect Dark. There's some other things here with things regarding Obsidian. That there's something wrong with Grand Theft Auto. A problem with Ubisoft. Another problem. You see, it's not just them though. He's bouncing around everything. You know, like a bunch of this, you know, about Indiana Jones, you know, Avowed, you know, there's an Obsidian, you know, there's a bunch of Obsidian stuff, things of Vera Dark being attacked. I mean, yeah, this is just more things about Avowed, Ubisoft, Avowed, BioWare, some things about, you know, more Ubisoft, Sweet Baby, Star Wars Outlaws, all this. This is like, look, you know, yeah, there's some stuff here, but it's not really mainly about her. So much of the content, it's not like, I mean, like we just went through all that stuff and they came up to here. So yeah, I'm just saying it's a little bullshit, little bullshit there, chat, little bullshit. So, and they say during this time, Mercante wrote, an article debunking a right-wing myth that a consulting agency, Sweet Baby Incorporated, was exerting undue influence on video game design decisions to force left-wing views. But it is, and it was. Like, are we arguing? We're basically, well, like true law counts are going, that's not true. That's not true. It's like, it wasn't true. You could have fooled me. Could have fooled me into thinking this isn't true, because it seems very true, to me at least. And they, you know, diverse character cast and other bugbears of the alt-right upon video games. The reaction from reactionaries was predictable. And notice, that tells you the political framing of this, being a reactionary. You remember how I said these guys are communists and left-wingers? That's a dog whistle. To all the communists out there, yes, you guys are all dogs. And the leftists, you're all dogs. Suffer, commies. Suffer. But the reactionaries react. Yes, they do. JT first rose to prominence on or about March 13th. He rose to prominence. Really? He rose to prominence in March. I mean, is that really like what we're going to say here? Because he rose to prominence. I mean, the guys, we're going to go I'm going to go back here in time for his videos. And, I checked this earlier, but you can go back, in a while. And yeah, I mean, his video started taking up, and he started covering all kinds of stuff that started hitting. He started covering IGN, the Concord, all this stuff. So to argue it just all happened here, I mean, I don't really know about that. I don't know about that. So he tweeted at video games journalist Paul Tassi to complain about Mercante. He said, no one's asking everyone to speak up about it, but if you're a journalist, it's extremely important to give both sides of the story if you report on it. Mercante knew exactly what she was doing and had an agenda. That's why people are upset. It's really not complicated. And it's true. We just want ethics in journalism. But remember, chat, don't make me tap the sign. There is no ethics in journalism. Prior to the tweet, Jeff was out of work and had no source of income other than his YouTube channel. Okay, and you know this how? Which had accumulated barely more than 20,000 subs since its inception in 2017. Okay, so is this the find out part that a certain activist keeps going on about in regards to me? His website is full of articles he had written that were getting no more than 1 or 2 views each. Okay. So in early March, Tarzia published an article titled Sweet Baby, Gaming Narratives Exposed. Yeah. In which she published a screenshot of one of Mercante's Twitter posts with the caption, of course Kotaku joins the cause. Yeah, so is this an implication that there is a cause? That there's some sort of collective movement, an organizational push, an institutional drive? Yeah. Sounds like it. When Gamergate 2.0 was coined to describe this latest foray, JT picked up on the label and began to use it in regards to Mercante. In early March 2024, JT on Twitter, I don't like using X, it's still Twitter to me. I'm dead naming it, chat. It's still Twitter to me. Read that Kotaku accountability summed up with a screenshot of a conversation between Alyssa and Mark Kern, another right-wing popular culture influencer, so known as Grums. Then JT shared on Twitter a screenshot of a video game developer and writer Jeff Grubb replying favorably to Alyssa Mercante's story with the caption, "Never meet your heroes, kid." The focus of JT's disappointment seemed to be that Grubb was biased because he responded with thank you to Mercante. JT went on to complain rather than provide JT with the discussion and rebuttal. Grubb unceremoniously blocked Tarzia. Yes, remember, chat, avoidance is for pussies. It's the fucking internet. So, anyways, yes, this is the point here. Yes, he blocked JT. Yamal says, why is this part of the filing? Who cares? It's because these are theater kids. And they think setting the narrative like this is critical. So anyways, March 10th, JT posted a video titled, Eurogamer caught defending Sweet Baby Incorporated in Gamergate 2.0. Okay. On and after March 12th, after drastically increasing his output on X, focused entirely on the Sweet Baby controversy, JT posted a YouTube video called The Truth Behind Gamergate Dose, a tie-in story on his website. The YouTube information reads, Gamergate 2 is well underway. Thanks to the narrative being pushed forth by the video game industry media agenda, it all started with Kotaku. Shocker, I know. And once again, yeah, it is a shocker. Yes, the truth. Macaudi's going into business. Tarzia threw all his weight behind being one of the loudest voices behind the Gamergate drum, fueled almost entirely by commenting on the work of Alyssa Mercante. Except I just showed you it wasn't all entirely about Alyssa Mercante. JT's star waxes as his vitriol increases. Throughout the remainder of April and March, JT continued to taunt Mercante specifically by name, ironically accusing her of being obsessed with him. And yes, this is Alyssa, like, that's her. Oof. Alyssa's obsessed, and she just can't stop talking about me, but as I've told her multiple times before, I'm happily married, and she should look elsewhere to pursue other options. Oh, so anyways, it just keeps going. And then in May, JT posted a rant. Notice they skip from, they're talking about, they talk about all this, he continued to taunt her in March and April. Okay, well, what's the date on this one? What's the date? And in March and April, okay, you show one tweet, and then you're already moving on to like mid-May. So you're jumping like 75 to 45 days ahead. I don't really get to see this here. I don't see how we're whatever. Mercante was allegedly going to take legal action against him. Okay, yeah, and she claimed she was going to. Well, and then she didn't do shit. So they say as of now, he have not received any requests for edits, deletions, or retractions or other modifications to his articles or views. And Tarzia admits he's not received any specific communications from Mercante. That's not what he's saying. He's not received any legal demands. Because here it says, she has suggested they may take legal action against SMASHJT. That's a complete misrepresentation of things. That is a misrepresentation. That is a misrepresentation of what actually was said there. Figure 9 is a misrepresentation. No specific legal communications. So, on May 6th, Tarzia made his aims clear, stating on SMASHJT, I want to shut down Kotaku. Very noble of him. Along with the hashtag #Kotaku in a post that called Mercante out by name. Very, very fair. On that same day, Tarzia created a petition at change.org to have Kotaku shut down, stating, we demand accountability from Kotaku. Yeah, okay. And then it talks about, once again, Kotaku detected, where we already got this part. They're restating shit. This is the problem. They're repeating things, and they're killing trees right now. So we're skipping that. And once again, we've already covered this part. We've already done this paragraph. You're just copy and pasting shit, guys. Come on. We've already heard this too. He's not a bystander or collateral commentator. We've already done this one as well, chat. We've already done this one. I'm not going to reread your fucking garbage twice. You don't get that from you don't earn that right from me. You haven't earned that. And then he said, by holding accountable, Tarzia, JT is speaking in code for harass into silence. No, mock and deride. And yes, mockery is a valid and acceptable tool. Oh, I know PTSD. There's a lot of rereading in this. I know there's a lot there. With one side of his mouth, JT will feign that harassment is bad and warn his followers against it, while showing his actual approval of such tactics by his own actions, and 2, liking or reacting publicly and positively to statements made against his targets by others. And they say Kotaku refuses to hold their own employees accountable for their abhorrent actions. If you want something done right, sometimes you have to do it yourself. Okay. On May 17th, JT posted a story about how a malefactor purchased a domain name, alanamercante.com, and utilized that domain name to harass Mercante and her sister. Okay, I mean, he attempted to distance himself from the harassment, but not helping it on. He says, it's a fascinating scenario to witness in real time, especially considering the apparent hypocrisy in her statements. To be clear, I do not condone anyone harassing her, but the irony of the situation is undeniably hysterical. You're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say it's a bad thing people are doing, but it's fucking hilarious to watch. It's great watching somebody get their comeuppance. It's sad to see somebody get their comeuppance through illegal means, but still, you're getting what you deserve. I don't feel it's wrong what's happening to you, but I don't feel bad for you. It shouldn't be happening this way. Nothing wrong with that statement. There's nothing wrong with that statement. So JT's campaign did not include more conventional approaches to holding a corporation responsible, or a more conventional effort in some way, such as contacting Kotaku sponsors. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that because they're saying this didn't happen. We're going to get to that because that's a bit of an issue. Organizing a letter writing campaign to the editors, encouraging people to consume other media and the like. Oh, so it's the issue of corporate accountability. Well, a bunch of left-wingers. You're mad about what he did, not that he did it. Notice that's the problem here. If he had done some other things that fucked Alyssa over, does that mean they would have just sat there and took it? Makes you wonder. Conventional, I mean, should he have shown up in underwear and sat in the lobby of Kotaku? Because that's what left-wingers would do. In a stated in May 17th, he called Mercante's reaction to the harassment and her sister pure comedy gold. Yeah, he's allowed to say it's hilarious. He's allowed to say it's hilarious. Now, Tarzia stated again with frank insincerity that such harassment was not appropriate or a mature response, while nevertheless gloating about it and highlighting the consequence of one's own actions. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. She's getting consumed by the fire she stoked. I'm allowed to laugh at that and still say the people doing it are wrong, but I don't feel bad about the person it's happening to. You know, Tarzia knew the end result of his actions would be financial, social, and employment consequences for Mercante, which was his goal all along. Okay, so what? JT's work frequently generates comments that threaten to go after people he writes about. Now, well, they say here that if Chris Kindred has chosen to go this far and act like a mentally ill, vengeful terrorist online, then maybe someone should turn the game back on Chris Kindred and they should dig up information on himself and use that info to ruin his life. I call this fair play. It's all fair game. Yes, and they say Tarzia does nothing to stem this kind of ire. Did you verify there's no other statement here? Because all we have is just one clip. You snagged one spot. So, Tarzia claims his harassment campaigns have a real effect on the industry, giving everyone incentive to continue this behavior. Now, see, they argue all this shit is wrong, and this is all dangerous and problematic. But look at the heading here. JT then crosses the line. I mean, by that logic, you're saying everything north of this, you're arguing everything above this is actually above board, and you know what? Maybe probably okay. Once again, how you phrase things and how you're pitching this, I would argue, is the problem here. You're saying he's crossing the line now, but you're like, is all this stuff above it okay? Because you're arguing it's just background information. This is not structured in a way that is conducive to arguing these comments are above board. So anyway, on or around March 30th, JT posted horrification. What's that? Like what Alyssa Mercante does, sucking dicks off her time and her time off for money on his Twitter account. On or about April 1st, JT published a video in which he stated Alyssa Mercante has since come forward, saying she used to be a sex worker, sucking dicks for money before working at Kotaku. Well, she has acknowledged she's a sex worker, or was. I don't know if, you like was or are. Maybe it's like a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. I don't know. But I don't think she explicitly stated she sucked dicks for money. I think that's an implication, because if you're doing sex work, there's probably an implication you're doing that. Then that same day, JT repeated the same claims on the SMASHJT website. Tarzia repeated those same claims on the YouTube channel on May 1st and May 3rd. Such conduct constitutes the crime of prostitution under New York Penal Law Section 230, which is listed under Title M of New York Penal Law, offenses against public health and morals. So, chat, this is where we get to, this is defamation per se. When you accuse someone of committing a crime, that's defamation per se. Now, he didn't say where she did it. Sucking dicks for money, if you're doing it in, parts of Nevada, it's legal. If you're doing it as part of a sugar baby relationship, sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship, it's legal. So we don't know, where did she do it at? Where did she do this? They're alleging, well, where did this happen? So where is? Yes, I said penal. These claims are false. Okay. Mercante has never engaged in the conduct described, nor in any other act of prostitution. Nor has she ever come forward stating that she has ever engaged in conduct. I'm pretty sure she said she's been a sex worker before, though. On information and belief, JT knew that these claims were false. Although many people requested the source of his claim that Mercante made these statements himself, JT has never provided the source. Trump once says, if you're doing what you love, it's not really work. Yeah. Yes. JT's statement was intended to give his audience the impression that he had special access to something underlying the factual claim, namely that he had access to some form of media where Mercante had come forward, stating she engaged in sucking dicks for money. Well, she said she's a sex worker, so the claim has been adopted and rebroadcast by many other influencers. As a direct approximate result of his factually false statement, Alyssa has suffered the following damages: injury to her professional reputation, loss of employment, loss of status and goodwill in the industry she covers. Well, if it's all inclusive about all about that, LGBTQ, they're all about that base. Why would they'd have been like, yes, queen? Shouldn't that have been the case? Like, if you're part of that, that should be like the entirety of everything. Everybody should be like, bravo, queen. Truly, you are a hero. I thought that's the argument, was that it's all left-leaning. Injury to personal reputation. Yeah, she's done that herself multiple ways. Loss of economic opportunity. Okay. Loss of income. Have fun proving that. You're going to have to open your books for that one, Alyssa. And mental anguish. You're going to have to show you speaking with a mental health worker for that. JT's harassment of Mercante. On information and belief, JT has made dozens of videos about Mercante since March. Dozens. Okay. But as we stated, chat, when you go here, like, he releases multiple videos a day sometimes. So dozens of videos. Let's go back to this. Dozens of videos. We're at 11 days in. Look how far we're scrolling down already. We're scrolling down. Look at this. We're going to, actually back up. See if we can get, look at this. Look at how many are here. Something about Sonic. Yeah, there's some Sweet Baby, GameStop. We're only 1 month out. Look how far we've scrolled. You see some Alyssa, and that's, Alyssa has Down with Hassan Piker. But you see all this other stuff. Okay, like, he's done a lot, but he's also done about other things. And, when you file a cease and desist letter with him to argue he doesn't have the right to make content about that's a bit bullshit. Because he did. He got Ron Coleman to represent him. But like, yeah, you're the main lol cow, but other stuff is out there. Like, look, we're 3 months out, and a lot of this is not just her. It keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. So, like, we're 6 months here, and you get to more and more and more. So, it dozens. Like, you should be able to say how many he's done. Hold on here. What is somebody asking? One of these videos published by JT is ironically titled "Alyssa Mercante is obsessed with me." Well, you did file a fucking lawsuit about that person, so yeah, I'd argue you have some obsession there. JT gives an unusually straightforward, direct statement about how he understands the internet harassment works, stating that intentionally invoking a person's name and identity serves a calculated strategy to incite followers and outsource the task of doxing. Well, this has already been doxed before, though. Like, that's not really like a thing. He further states such conduct creates a pathway for harassment and intimidation, and that this reckless behavior underscores a disturbing trend of online aggression where individuals weaponize personal information in pursuit of vendettas, highlighting the urgent need for accountability and responsible online conduct. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. That is, Tarzia makes clear he understands doing exactly what he's been doing to Mercante deliberately create the pathway for harassment and intimidation by, among other things, intentionally invoking Alyssa's name as part of a calculated strategy to incite followers and outsource the task of doxing. JT has posted over 100 tweets referring to Alyssa by name on the Twitter account since March 2024. That's it? That's it? Over 100? Like, count, like, you didn't count? More than 50 videos. Well, how many is more than 50? Okay. Since March of 2024. More than 50 blog posts since March of 2020. I'm assuming they meant 2024. That's okay. I fuck up. People are like, oh my God, there's a typo. Like, I typo all the time too, guys. Like, you go to McDonald's, you say, don't put pickles on my burger. Sometimes I'll put pickles on your burger. Oops. It happens. They say, this course of conduct continued even after Alyssa blocked JT on Twitter in an effort to reduce his ability to see her posts and tag her in the targeted harassment. The conduct bore fruit exactly the way he described. In and around July, the notorious doxing website Kiwi Farms posted Alyssa's private information. JT immediately put out a video that Mercante had fled Twitter when karma came for her. Okay. Mercante sent out a demand letter for retraction. Tarzia and others posted the demand letter and increased their mockery and abuse towards Mercante. Well, that's going to happen. And also notice that the farms, and they tried to threaten Null on the farms, and they didn't even bother fucking replying. If you guys remember, we covered that when Alyssa went after the farms, and I actually talked to Matthew Hart about this. Like, we're not even gonna fucking reply. He's just like, fuck you guys and fuck your bullshit. So, on information and belief, this torrent of harassing communication was done with the intent to deprive Alyssa of her chosen counsel and to punish her for attempt to remove her personally identifying information. You're done with the intent to deprive Mercante of her chosen counsel. We're not allowed to make fun of your lawyer now? Is that the problem? We're not allowed to make fun of your legal team for being a bunch of fucking retards and being feckless and dickless? And when they threatened, you said we're going to send you another one, and then very shortly afterwards we'll conduct legal action, and then you don't do shit for months, like looking like a bunch of blustering bitches? I mean, I'm just saying. This is just ridiculous here. This is just ridiculous. Yes, not my dear leader. Yes, our dear feeder chat. So Tarzia, JT has utilized his opportunity to seek funds from what he termed a serious threat against his livelihood, family, and his career. Well, yeah, a lawsuit's a big fucking deal. That is, he admitted how crucial the continued harassment of Alyssa is to the profitability of his erstwhile media empire. Is that really what he admitted, or that your lawsuit's a threat to him? I mean, I think we're being a little tardy here about what we're reading into this. Just saying. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, chat. That's just me. Once again, that's just me. As a direct approximate result of JT's harassment of Alyssa Mercante, as well as constant knowing and intentional exhortation to his legion of followers to do the same, Alyssa has suffered the following damages, and we already covered this. Injury to her professional reputation, loss of employment, loss of status and goodwill. She covers injury to her personal reputation, loss of economic opportunity, loss of income, and mental anguish. Now, JT's use of Alyssa's images to advertise his channel. In his career, he earns income from the videos he produces and uploads to YouTube. His income is determined by how many viewers watch his videos. The more videos he gets, the more views, the more he gets paid. Therefore, he has a direct economic incentive to encourage people to view videos on YouTube. Yep. Every video on YouTube is a placeholder image which is displayed along with its title when the video is linked or embedded. These are known as thumbnails, chat. I love how this. Yes, Yamal, I didn't want to explain this because it's not even worth it. But yes, they cite Reddit in citations here. Yes, they talk about Reddit here for different things. Like it is just ridiculous. This doesn't rate my time. This doesn't rate my fucking time or effort to give them that satisfaction. But yes, chat, if you didn't know, and I almost need that like thing in the background to like just learning things. Barnaki is saying, am I on Flashcast tonight? Yes. Flash asked me to come on. We're going to be talking about this tonight on Flashcast, chat. If you guys want to see me later, we'll be talking about it and doing it up. So thank you for bringing it up if I didn't bring it up earlier. So let's get back to this here. So yes, with the thumbnails, chat, you know, it's like when Ben Affleck's explaining Jay and Silent Bob the internet. It's like, yes, the image should know thumbnails and they act like the face of the video. A thumbnail has an impact on how many views it will ultimately receive. That's very true. And there's a thing with there is a very big great point with if you guys notice on YouTube thumbnails, there's always a face. So you try to put faces on it because faces gain more recognition in the algorithm. A thumbnail for the video acts as an advertisement for the video, engaging viewers' interest with the content of the video, causing them to click and watch the video. The creator of the video has the option to create a custom thumbnail for the videos they upload. Yes. On information and belief, JT exerts sole control over the thumbnail images. JT frequently uses Mercante's likeness in the thumbnails for the videos on SMASHJT. Yes. JT also uses Mercante's name in the thumbnails. It said titles of videos. Yep. JT has also used Mercante's likeness in the thumbnails for videos on the JT on his channel no fewer than 37 times since March 3rd. Wait. And this is where we go back, guys. Remember, they said no fewer than 50 times the videos have been about her. Okay. And then he's used her name in the thumbnails no fewer than 25 times since March 13th. But you just said it was over 50 earlier. Square your circles. Come on, chat. Let's go. Let's go. You know, you can't do this. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. JT has neither sought nor received Mercante's consent for any of these uses of her likeness or name. He doesn't fucking need to. He doesn't fucking need to. Just like I don't need Alyssa's permission. I don't need JT's permission to use his fucking likeness on that fucking my thumbnail. They both could go fuck themselves if they try to come after me. I can put whoever the fuck I want in the thumbnail. Yes, it's 50, 37, and 25 all at the same time. It's absolutely fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. JT's unauthorized use of her likeness and name has proved lucrative for him. Now, they also go back to that. Is this the finding out part tweet that he did? We've already seen this one before. Is this the find out part the certain activist keeps going on and on about? And it says, on information and belief, the certain activist referenced in Tarzia's tweet was Mercante. On information and belief, the tweet was a demonstration of the lifetime sub count of the JT channel, which had an increase of nearly 40,000 subs between late March and September 10th of 2024. So JT's first video about Mercante was published on March 22nd. As to direct approximate results, she suffered all these injuries, blah, 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 blah. No one cares. His harassment goes beyond him. Okay. You go beyond yourself, good saw. As with any rough beast born of fanning the flames of online hate, God, this is just fucking tryhards writing this. Tarzia's campaign went beyond direct attacks upon Mercante on his channel. This is just so pathetic here. As part of her participation in online gaming, Mercante would sometimes appear online with other personalities, including Hassan Piker. Yes, guys, Hassan Piker, the nephew of Cenk Uygur, the head of the Young Turks. Yes, Hassan, the guy who's like supporting, has like members of fucking Hamas on and, you know, terrorism supporters and standing for terrorist groups. Yes, that Hassan Piker. So Mercante published a feature at Kotaku covering TwitchCon where Hassan was present. And it's funny because Hassan fucking destroyed Twitch, and Twitch is having its own apocalypse because of Hassan. Piker is a popular left-wing, and by that socialist and communist political commentator and streamer who is also of Turkish ethnicity. Yeah. And I love this. I love this part here. Piker's commentary, particularly covering the Israeli-Hamas war that began on October 7th, has drawn ire from many sources. So you would agree it's not just JT pointing out Hassan has said a lot of shit that's really fucking bad and really cringe and really stupid. You're kind of not helping yourself here. So, I mean, Hassan even got noticed on fucking mainstream media. Like NBC News covered it. The streamer Destiny attacked Alyssa Mercante for her coverage of Hassan Piker, digging up a 2-year article written about Piker by Mercante. Yes, chat. It's almost like, well, you notice you're not helping your case here. You're pointing out everybody's fucking calling her out for being a piece of shit. Yes, Destiny, Stephen Bonnell II, as David Packman calls him. Yes, Destiny, that Destiny. Destiny's a girl's name. Anyways, JT piled on. So notice they're already arguing. These guys, Destiny's already caused a problem. Destiny's attacking. Why aren't you suing Destiny? I mean, shit, if you're going after people, Destiny's got a ton of cash. Destiny rakes in the dough. But he's a fellow traveler, so you're not going to do it. So, Your Honor, my own defense, your friend started it. Well, I mean, yes, and the coom. So, anyways, JT with a video blog post amplified Destiny's derogatory comments about Mercante. So now you're going after JT for amplifying someone else's comments that were derogatory. Are you arguing these comments weren't true? Weren't true? Are they not true, or were they defamatory? Well, guess we got another party we need to bring in, a guy who lives in Florida named Destiny. This doesn't help you. This is not a good look. So JT used this controversy to push his pet conspiracy theory about Mercante. She was not in the video games industry to champion games or support gamers, but to push left-wing activism. That's not a pet conspiracy theory. That's everyone's theory about Gamergate. That's everybody's theory about Sweet Baby Incorporated. We think you're all fucking communists and you're trying to infiltrate video games. You're trying to destroy the things we love. It's culture comp. That's the reason why Warhammer's being attacked. Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering has already fallen. There are multiple hobbies and things in the entertainment industry that have been attacked and subjugated and subverted by the communists and the left wing. So it's not just JT. We all think that. It's not fake. Yes, get out of my hobbies, you fucking commies. Oh, yeah, it's not a theory. It's very obvious. Iman Rez is saying, did I hear culture comf? Well, it's culture with a K. So. So they say, ultimately, Alyssa's behavior reveals her true colors. She's not in the industry to support gamers. She's here to push activism, and Hassan is just another tool for her to do so. No fucking lies detected. JT said in no uncertain terms he would continue to call out Mercante anytime she wrote a piece that did not pass his personal sensibilities about what a games journalist should do. That's not a problem. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to A-log people, especially if you think they fucking suck. I think they're horrible. It's like if somebody went out there and said, Sean sucks at what he does here. Fine, I don't disagree. I really am shitty at this YouTube thing, to be fair. But if someone had said every time I went on, they're like, oh my God, I'm going to break down this video, and here's why he sucks every time. You're allowed to do that. That's how this works. It's a commentary and reaction thing. I'm reacting to a dog shit lawsuit. That's how this goes. And every time these attorneys put out a filing, we're going to cover it because I think they're bad. If it turns out to be good, I'll say where it's good. And then it says, ultimately, based on the actions of JT, multiple persons contacted Geo Media to complain about anti-Semitism for Mercante appearing with Piker. Wait, chat. Wait, chat. So, multiple persons contacted her employer, right? Wait, I thought we said, like, didn't we want, like, here, we're going to go back to this. Like, the more traditional, conventional approaches to holding a corporation responsible, such as organizing letter writing. Wait, organizing letter writing? So you would write a letter to their sponsors or to the company saying, hey, your employee's a piece of shit. But that's what they're doing. They're contacting the company that owns Kotaku saying, wow, she's fucking awful. I thought that's what you wanted. I thought that's what you wanted. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Yes, letter writing is anti-Semitic. David, MLS, how you doing, David? Said, Sean, be gentle in my chat. I just sent you. Hey, David, hope you're doing well. Guys, MLS, making law simple. Guys, give him a like and a subscribe if you haven't headed over there before. Does a lot of great stuff. Does a lot of Lego streaming. Looks like they're not doing that tonight. Or they got done with it. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for being here, David. I appreciate it. But yes, I do like here. Destiny's the nom de guerre of Stephen Kenneth Bennell II. All right. So anyways, under pressure from Geo in the wake of this harassment campaign, Mercante agreed to resign her position at Kotaku. Once again, we got an issue here. I think there's some problems. Yeah, I would argue it's a nom de plume instead, but, he's fighting the culture. Well, he's fighting, and he's the nom de guerre. Maybe it's like the war against the war against men's jizz that he's winning by gobbling it up. I don't know. Destiny's a fighter. He fights for love, chat. The ever one to utilize the misfortune of others to prop himself up. JT gloated that Mercante leaving Kotaku was a victory for his side. Since he believes video games journalists should stick to pure game analysis and avoid dives into social political commentary. Yeah, I mean, imagine that. I don't want, like, why would I want to go on a model building? Like, listen to a guy building models pontificating about, like, a company who reviews model airplane kits. Do I want them to talk about social inequality or, no, I want them to talk about fucking model building, tips and tricks and reviews. That's all I want. But yes, imagine that. We want a company that covers games to cover games. So, despite this, that, and like you said, I just want authentic, unbiased, games-focused journalism. Okay, what's wrong with that? So, despite JT himself engaging in divisive social political commentary, he's allowed to. He believes there's space in the video game commentary community for voices like his, but not like Mercante's. What has he said that's derisive other than saying she's a piece of shit, she shouldn't do this? For which he stated he will always call out. Yes. As set out above, JT's form of calling out, among other things, always includes in his words intentionally invoking a person's name, an identity to serve a calculated strategy to incite followers and outsource the task of doxing. We're just fucking repeating shit here, chat. This is not... Yeah. JT's pattern and practice of lying. JT has a history of pattern and practice of making false statements and centralized reporting and commentary. It does so in particular when Mercante is involved. Now, this is where it gets good, chat. It's where it gets good. Below is a partial history and account of that practice. On September 26th, just after receiving the retraction request, JT posted false statements regarding her counsel to the Twitter timeline, falsely claiming that counsel did not work at the firm he claimed. JT further intimated that Mercante's counsel had quite the reputation in the legal industry, but not elaborating further. Yes, so this is the guy. He signed a complaint, and what's his fucking name? Lane. Let's see, Lane Haygood. Well, yeah, he says he's part of the Cucks law firm. And he wasn't listed as of counsel. He said he was of counsel, but he wasn't listed. Is that wrong? You're not listed anywhere on the firm you claim to be working for. But listen to the fucking crybaby bullshit. The fucking lawyer who wrote this is him. He wrote this complaint, and he included himself. Fucking crybaby. You fucking crybaby. But you do have a reputation. You're a bit of a fucking lol cow. Your fucking Twitter is really fucking bad, and I put a lot of cringe on my own Twitter. Like, it's really fucking embarrassing, bro. Sabertooth Nietzsche or whatever the fuck you were supposed to be. Yeah, like Nietzsche, like, oh yeah, like it's all fucking garbage, brother. You sit there and cry about yourself. You are part of the lol cow stable known as KUSK. You are another cow in the stable. So yeah, it's just another. Even after another commentator pointed out it was easily verifiable that Mercante's counsel worked for the firm claimed, it wasn't actually clear right away. Tarzia refused to amend or take down his post or provide clarification regarding his statements regarding reputation. He doesn't have to provide statements regarding or clarifying it. You're fucking awful. That's what he's saying. You suck. Yeah, this is just cows touching cows. Yeah. Just cows bumping into each other. This is just ridiculous, chat. This is just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And they argue after Mercante's leaving of her position with Kotaku, Tarzia reported on the matter breathlessly, without pausing to check his sources or not make further unfounded speculation about Mercante's plans, such as allegedly doing work for Sweet Baby Incorporated. Okay. So he speculates on her employment plans. All right. Even when corrected about Mercante's plans, JT implied he was in possession of facts which he refused to disclose to substantiate his claims. Okay. They say, however, JT is simply not immune to telling the truth or correcting the record when it serves to increase the harassment of his victims. You know, and it's also funny. Yes, wait, so he's acting like a journalist. Yes, I know. He's acting like a journalist. Isn't that weird? All the other journalism's fine, but that's how all journalists act. When rumors began to spread that JT had a post on a sexually explicit website, JT pointed out the person perpetrating the hoax did so knowing as false and bemoaning the amount of harassment he received. Okay. Now, this right here, and I want to mention this. This is litigation privilege. So notice, this is the comment here. Alyssa is not in possession of any evidence which would substantiate that JT and his wife participated in a website where they advertised for strange men to sleep with JT's wife while JT watched, and thus presumes the photographs and text generated in support of the hoax are in fact fake. They are reproduced here without sponsorship or endorsement by Alyssa or her counsel. Notice the bullshit here. You know, we're not saying this is untrue. We think it's fake, but we need to show it. For what reason? For what reason do you need to fucking show this? This is how you know they're just complete pieces of shit. This is how you know they're complete pieces of shit. We don't know if they're true or not, but we're going to show them anyway. You know, that's the thing here. So they argue this is actual defamation proven to be faked. Here's the actual account that changed its name. And they say, you really are a complete piece of shit at the Andy Cortez, and we're gonna move past that because YouTube might slap our wee-wee. So we're just gonna move on from there. So they trying to get when the author and host confessed, JT's response is that a simple "I am sorry" would have sufficed. Okay. Oh, I'm sure this judge is going to be scratching his fucking head. with this. Hold on 1 second, chat. So notice, yes, JT says it's a simple sorry would have sufficed. Well, here's the thing. Are you arguing that, well, you didn't just say, hey, could you please say sorry? Yeah, how far does the litigation privilege extend? Where's the line? Well, there's quite a bit of line there. You have quite a bit of road to run. Interesting they put that pick in a legal complaint. No, it's not, because they're, once again, this is meant to, for all the harassment, intimidation, they're harassing and intimidating the shit out of JT, which, it's really funny. It's funny how they do that. But did Alyssa ever just ask for, like, please say sorry? So the Andy Cortez said the setup and punchline are incredible. Okay. Given his refusal to offer Mercante the same courtesy when it's requested, this statement is revealing. Well, no, you did it in a fucking snarky-ass, dick-headed way in your letter, so there you go. On or about September 30th, on a Valiant Renegade stream, guys, also like and subscribe to him, he does great work, with JT and his counsel, Ron Coleman, JT lied about not knowing Mercante and misrepresented his history with her. Okay, JT claimed that it was Mercante who approached him after he began his Kotaku campaign. When as shown above, according to our allegations, he had already written articles by Mercante and called her out by name. Did he really? Well, we'll see. JT repeated the same lies on another stream with Coleman on or about October 1st. Is this their argument of trying to argue that they're trying to claim Ron Coleman supporting perjury? Or will be? Ballsy. Tarzia also... Well, the dogs are firing up. Yeah. No, I heard his Clyde. So Tarzia, JT also frequently shares a manipulated image of Mercante in a t-shirt, but claims the image has not been altered from the original. However, the original image by Mercante does not include the image and slogan, which has been superimposed on the shirt. The image was first shared on March 13th in his article regarding Jeff Grubb and Mercante, regarded in paragraph 68-69. Okay. And then, yeah, here's the thing. Dude says he'll screenshot people to get them banned from the industry, but lets us fly. I don't even know where the line is. And this is a picture of Alyssa Mercante. But the shirt part's not real, and it says, you can't be racist against white people. Thanks for tuning in. Now, I think Alyssa actually has said that. But yes, they're arguing this is not true. She actually has a different thing on her shirt here. Okay. The photograph was taken from Mercante's Twitter feed and altered. It's altered, chat. It's altered. It's doctored. It's a fucking meme. That's the thing here. Yes. Yes, of course it was edited. Well, but remember, we're dealing with retards. JT knew the statement contained on the shirt was false and was republished anyways, part of his pattern of practice. Statement's known to be false. Yes, chat, memes are false now. Memes are false from these crybaby bitches over at the Cucks firm. At the Cucks firm, everything is problems. There's watermarks abounding at the Cucks firm. I'm sorry, Cusk. JT has also commented on Alyssa's raising money for Trans Lifeline charity, claiming the charity itself is a scam and an iceberg of hidden criminal activity. Okay, and now we're gonna get to there's a narrative here too, chat. Trans life, well, yes, it's satire, but satire retards don't understand satire. They don't pick up on social cues very well. But yes, Trans Lifeline is a registered 501c3 nonprofit and is transparent in its finances. Is it? How do you know? You're really going out of your way to defend them. Charity Navigator, a site which investigates and ranks charities, gives Trans Lifeline a 96% rating. Okay. But this all here. They're not claiming she's part of the scam. She's operating it. She raised money for a scam. This history of lying. I mean, they seem very upset about the trans thing. They seem very upset about the trans thing here. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get, wow, why they're really invested in the whole the Troon thing, aren't they? The whole trans thing and the heckin' trans-arinos. They say no one associated with Trans Lifeline has been charged with a crime. Although two former directors did agree to repay, independent of a lawsuit, funds that were diverted from the charity's main mission. Such repayments were disclosed in 2017 financial filings. You know, real quick, chat, just so we're there. We call that embezzlement. Embezzlement is crime. So it is, no one associated with Trans Lifeline has been charged with a crime. Notice they use the has been charged with, not has committed, has been charged with. It's the weasel dick lawyer words. And being a lawyer, I know all the weasel dick words out there and the way to weasel dick things. Yeah, no one has been charged, so no crime occurred. Yes. And they got caught and they were forced to repay. Yes. 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 Such flippant remarks and reckless disregard for the truth demonstrates that at the time, JT made the defamatory statements about Mercante, saying she raised money for a scam, not saying she took part in the scam. That's not what that's very ambiguous though. Who he's alleging is doing the incorrect activity. That's not a defamatory statement towards Alyssa. That's not. You can't prove that's a defamatory statement towards Alyssa. I'm just saying. He knew he didn't have any basis for claiming they were true and had conscious knowledge the statements were not true. If he knew about this whole fucking thing here, yeah, he did. If he knew that there were directors fucking embezzling, yeah, he did know. He would have a right to know it's a scam. Just saying. I'm just saying, chat. Hey, get mad all you want. I just work here, guys. I just work here. But that sounds like a fucking scam to me, or was at the time being a scam. Does Charity Navigator know about this? Did Charity Navigator know there was a problem like that? They say at worst at multiple points, JT implied he was in further possession of further facts that would substantiate his claims, which he never bothered to produce because those facts did not exist. Well, how do you know they don't exist? How do you know they don't exist? Also, once again, he's in possession of further facts. That's not quoted. So, how do you know? How do you know he doesn't have any more information? How do you know? You don't. That's a conclusory statement right there. Among one of the many. JT fabricated those facts, knowing they were false. As a direct result, yeah, she suffered blah, 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 blah. First cause of action, defamation and defamation per se. Guys, for once again, Nick is right. This is a defamation case. So this cause of action includes all the following foregoing paragraphs, inclusive by reference and incorporation. Nothing wrong with that. So they go back to his tweet talking about horrification to sucking dicks for money in her off time for money from the Twitter account. They published a video once again about sucking dicks for money before working at Kotaku. And then he said all these things multiple times. And he said these statements come forward stating she used to be a sex worker sucking dicks for money. All this, blah, 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 blah. These statements, which impugn her chastity and accuse her of the commission of a crime of moral turpitude, to wit, prostitution under New York Penal Law, Section 230, under the New York Civil Rights Law of Section 77, they are defamatory per se, and special damages need not be pled. So they're arguing under the New York civil rules, they don't have to do that. They said, nevertheless, as a direct and proximate result of the false statements by JT, Alyssa suffered all the following, all the losses, okay. And mental anguish. Second cause of action, bias-related violence or intimidation. Now, the plaintiff, Alyssa Mercante, is a cisgender bisexual woman. JT is aware of Alyssa Mercante's gender, presentation, and sexual orientation, where presentation is kind of, ugh, a lot of shitty tattoos. That's why don't get tattoos, kids. Don't be an inky. Don't be an inky. Be a pure skin. Be a blank skin. Be a good boy. Be a good kid. JT is engaged in a pattern of conduct that constitutes harassment under New York penal law. Specifically, he has intentionally and repeatedly harassed Alyssa by engaging in a course of conduct that has put her in fear of her physical injury. Really? She stated that? Okay. Alyssa Mercante states upon information and belief that his selection of her for harassment is based upon JT's belief or perception regarding Alyssa Mercante's race, color, gender, age, and or sexual orientation. There's been nothing here that states that. It's all about political belief. If we're going off of the whole left-wing and communist infiltration and subversion of our institutions, it's all political ideology. I'm just saying. But they go on to say Section 79N provides a civil right of action against any person who intentionally selects a person or property for harm or causes damage to the property of another or causes physical injury or death to another, or subjects a person to conduct that would constitute harassment under the penal law. And that's under the civil rights law under Section 79N. Therefore, Alyssa requests all relief available, including injunctive relief, damages, and any other relief available. Okay. I have an eagle on my chest. You see what this means? It says not welcome. Oh, jeez. The third cause of action, intentional infliction of emotional distress. We're going to reincorporating all this. They say JT is engaged in extreme and outrageous. And remember, chat, like I said, my torch professor, as Professor Slater would say, it's outrageous conduct. It's not just outrageous, it's outrageous. Not only has he committed individually the tort set forth in his complaint, but his conduct has touched off a firestorm that resulted in Alyssa having to daily face unwanted attention from online malefactors, both in public and private messages. Okay, so yeah, oh my God, people talk mean to you. Kill yourself, you dyke cunt bitch. Okay, well. An example, the messages Mercante received as a result of JT's harassment campaign. Are you sure? The guy didn't say JT sent me. What date and time did this come from? Where is this from? Today? What day? What day is today? We don't know anything about this. Mavka says, wait, that was my text. One example, probably doctored. Yes, if they had a bunch of them, they'd play them out. But they don't. Now, once again, October 2nd. Okay. temp@damarino.ca. So it sounds like a temporary email account, so it's not even like this sounds like a fake one as well. You are so fucking ugly, like the repulsive kind of ugly. Not the I feel sorry for you kind of ugly. Seriously, there's bile in my throat after that gamer guy flashed your fucking picture. Another blue hair retarded bitch running around gaming. I can't wait till your bubble bursts. Reality be so hard for you. And for Christ's sake, quit telling people you're Italian. Italians don't want you. Oh no, people are mad at her. Oh no, chat, no, oh no. She 100% sent that herself. Yeah, that's the thing. Fucking Discovery is going to be fucking hilarious. Say, this has always been JT's intent. He knew before making a single statement about Mercante. Some of his viewers would take it too far, and he made the statements he did, understanding and believing this type of conduct would result. Did he? Did he really know? Because JT intended his harassment and outrage campaign to be successful, he intended all the foreseeable consequences of the campaign. That includes the severe emotional distress suffered by Alyssa, which has risen to a level that affects her livelihood, even her feeling of safety going out in public. That fun part about an IIED claim, chat, she's going to have to be subjected to psychological evaluation. And her psychological evaluations and her doctor's notes are going to be discoverable. That's all discoverable, chat. And then guess what? JT and Ron Coleman can make her sit down with a shrink of their own and determine whether or not she's got problems. And say all this is attributable to the words of actions of JT, and it's a direct approximate result. They suffered compensable damages within the jurisdictional limits of this court. Fourth cause of action, tortious interference with a contract. And they say this cause of action includes all the foregoing paragraphs, inclusive by reference to corporation. Alyssa had a contract for employment with Kotaku as a senior editor. JT's harassment campaign intentionally sought to run Alyssa out of the game's journalism industry. The harassment was unlawful and tortious. The unlawful harassment was intended to interfere with her employment. JT promoted the commentary by streamer Destiny related to her support of Hassan Piker, which led to people accusing her of anti-Semitism. Okay. Notice they're not saying none of this is true. They're not saying any of that's untrue. But if everybody had written letters, would that have made it better? Once again, no, Ron Coleman was not part of OJ's dream team. You're thinking of Alan Dershowitz. So they say as a direct and proximate result of the unlawful harassment, Alyssa lost her job. It's unlawful to report on what somebody else reports on. Why? So Destiny, if JT committed unlawful harassment, so did Destiny. Why is she going after Destiny? Huh. A little weird. And had her contract bought out by her now former employer. Okay. So her contract was bought out. They paid her money. They didn't just fire her. They just said, we're done with you. Here's your money. Get out the door. Knowingly and tortiously interfered with her contract with her employer. How? The contract was satisfied. Notice, they're not arguing that, Kotaku said, you're fired. We're breaking your contract with you. They bought her contract out. Notice there's no indication that the buyout was unfavorable. There's no indication of any of these problems. So she got her money. Her contract was fulfilled. Kotaku said, here's your money. We're done with you. We got to go. So the contract was satisfied. Contract was satisfied. I just don't understand it. Oh, Heels vs. Babyface. Hi, Az. How you doing, man? Thank you for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. We're going to get to that. She's saying she was fired. But there's a question about that because we got this here from Alyssa Mercante. She says, this decision was made before the layoffs, but now I'm even more glad I made it. Well, it sounds like you kind of agreed to be bought out. And it sounds like you agreed to bail. What is it? Like you're leaving some things here that are hard for us to figure out. That are hard for us to figure out here. Just a little weird. So, I'm just saying, chat. Those statements are all kind of down there. Just saying they're down there. But yes, so what was the interference in the contract? You got the bargain you wanted. You bargained with them and you had an agreement. I do work, you pay me. Kotaku said, you know what? We're done. We'll just pay you, go away. So your contract was fulfilled. There was no tortious interference. You literally got money for not doing work. You were paid off ahead of time. They bought out your contract. So you actually got money for free. How do we know they weren't going to hire you back anyway? Maybe they don't like the fact you're out there playing nice and patty cake with fucking Hassan. Yeah, there's no unlawful termination of anything here. Yeah, that's not really going to get you where you think you're going here, I don't think. So as a result of this, Alyssa Mercante suffered damages. What damage did she suffer? She was fully paid. Her contract was bought out. They don't allege in here that she was bought out for pennies on the dollar or anything like that. She was bought out. That would presume she was bought out fully. And she accepted the terms of that. I mean, if she thought she was getting a bad deal and the company's trying to break a contract with you and you think you're getting a bad deal, you would never accept that because now she can't sue Kotaku. If she, by accepting that, she's waived any liability with them. So, I mean, she's arguing that they didn't do anything wrong and she's accepting it. Whereas if she had forced them to fire her and break the contract, she probably would have a claim. This is just going to make you look like a fucking idiot in depositions, Alyssa. And then we get on to the fifth cause of action. Common law stochastic terrorism and or prima facie tort. Now, here's the thing, guys. They are basically here alleging a new theory of law, a novel theory of law. Now, that alone, and I will be fair with them, that alone does not make something laughable. Because sometimes there is no already preset thing the law can address. I had a case in we were dealing with a probate issue. Someone had died, and there was an issue about this happened in the middle of COVID, like at the height of COVID, like, April of 2020, the person had passed away. And we had to try to figure out, like, the will had not been probated yet. It had moved on to another family member, and another family member had died. And the allegation was that, person A in this family had acted like Typhoid Mary and had killed these people because they weren't following quarantine rules. These people were sick and immunocompromised that they were spending time around, and they caused them to catch COVID and die. Well, that's not a crime, but if you're responsible for that person's death, you're not entitled to recover at law, depending on the situation. So that was a really novel theory, and we were getting ready to put it forward. So there are times where you will push forward a novel theory of law or something the law hasn't been designed to cover. That alone doesn't make it laughable. But the idea of stochastic terrorism itself, this is all just garbage. So I will just say that now. Yes, Clyde is in trouble. He's outside, I think, barking. So. Angela says it's murder. Well, it wasn't murder. I'd argue it wasn't, but it does happen. So I'm just saying, just because you see a brand new action, that's not necessarily automatically dismiss it. Because remember, everything that you already have in court action-wise was a new thing at some point. So, hold on one second, chat. So they go on to say courts have the common law power to recognize newly civil actionable wrongs when appropriate. New York has arguably codified the general powers in its cause of action for a prima facie tort. Okay, so under either approach, however, the harassment campaign above is actionable as set out below. They say other courts in this nation, including Washington, including a Washington court, not like the Washington Supreme Court or any specific thing there, has set up the idea of escalating harassment or stochastic terrorism. Well, that's not those are not the same thing. Those are not the same thing. Those are not the same thing. And notice, they just have a Washington Superior Court. So it's some basic bitch lawsuit. Notice, it hasn't been done to a point where a court of appeals has upheld it. And also, they're just relying on law review articles. Okay. But they don't have anything other than that. So to argue this, it's really flimsy at this point. When you're dealing with this, it doesn't get you anywhere in that regard. It doesn't get you anywhere to what you need to get to this point. So and that's the issue here. The escalating harassment. It's not escalating harassment. Stochastic terrorism is using indirect and vague encoded language, which you're wanting things to happen to people. It's not escalating. It's just there. So the escalation part of this, I think, is just kind of nonsense. So, and they say that courts should recognize new torts when they identify a trend in law that justifies the adoption of a new cause of action. Indeed, harassment is already a crime in New York, and it is. And likewise, New York has already made bias-related intimidation or harassment a civil cause of action. Yep. And they say JT's conduct demonstrates an escalating pattern of harassment or conduct directed specifically at Alyssa Mercante. So, and they argue, so that they say, this is here. This is also from Carolyn Pettit. She's involved with another Kotaku. She's another Kotaku writer. And she says, Lamau, sorry, y'all, but if a wife finding out what her husband is openly, publicly up to on the internet might ruin the relationship, it's not the letting her know the vile shit he's doing. That's a moral problem here. You know what that is? It's the vile shit he's doing. And then apparently JT responding saying, how many times do I need to teach these crazy bitches this lesson? Well, they are crazy bitches. That's a fact. That is 100% a fact. Tarzia references Mercante as a bitch. She's no, as a crazy bitch. A crazy bitch. Get it right, guys. Get it right. She's a crazy bitch, not just a bitch. That is, JT's aim is teaching these crazy bitches, including Mercante, a lesson. You literally just, these two things don't match. These two things are literally in contradiction to each other. They don't work. They don't work. Come on. Be consistent, guys. Come on. I'm not asking for a lot out of you. I'm not asking for a lot of you. You got to fucking do it right, though. Got to do it right, chat. And he does through stochastic harassment. I mean, if we're talking about fucking Vosh, I'd agree, but he claims his campaign is the betterment of the games industry, by which he means the removal of Mercante and people like her from that space. Hey, you know what? Sorry. Physical removal of communists must happen. Physical removal of communists must happen. I'm sorry. That's the way it goes, chat. I don't make the rules. So, anyways, this is the statement from JT, and this is in May. He admits his goal is the silencing of people with whom he disagrees. I mean, is that really what he's saying here? So he says the account for Alyssa Mercante suggested they may take legal action regarding my coverage. At this time, JT has received no direct communication or request to edit, retract, delete, or modify things. And he says, as with all my good faith conversations, I'm happy to consider rebuttal facts that they've been made in error. Currently, I do not know specific statements Alyssa might believe to be false or harassing. My coverage uses screen captures, in this case, of her own words to substantiate a perspective. Furthermore, it's difficult to reconcile a person who proclaims it's dehumanizing when facts are being discussed. The irony is strong coming from a supposed journalist employed at Kotaku. She has proven to constantly avoid giving the full story to her audience, is now trying to silence the real truth about her. And particularly interesting of all the channels recovering her indiscretions, Alyssa is choosing to single me out. The inferences made by Alyssa imply a threat to silence, and I do not take those threats lightly, nor will I be bullied. I will continue covering this story in an upcoming video with additional information, facts, and screenshots once again to prove my point. It is exhausting, but I will not stop. I will seek truth for the betterment of the entire gaming industry. Where is the talk about silencing? Where's the talk about silencing here, chat? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it, chat. I don't see it. Despite his claim to consider a rebuttal of facts if he's made an error, JT refuses to do so. JT refused to consider he was in error regarding Mercante's counsel. Fucking crybaby. You fucking crybaby. You come back again and cry like a little fucking bitch. Oh, he wouldn't retract about me. He didn't come back about me to Paul Winawoya. You fucking baby. You fucking crybaby. You fucking crybaby cusk bitch. I mean, goddamn. Jesus Christ, man. Do you borrow tampons from Alyssa? When you guys meet up, is this how this works? Fucking crying like a little bitch. Crying like a little bitch. This is just pathetic. Fucking pathetic. When it's pointed out to JT that his statements against Alyssa, as highlighted in his complaint, were likely defamatory, he ignored it. So somebody saying, reading this, I would absolutely take the exit ramp regarding her sucking dick for work. If she sues you, that one is going to stick, and you're going to make her a lot of money by refusing. Simply state you're exaggerating the nature of her sex work for that effect. Well, they're not denying she does sex work here, chat. So what does sex work include? What does sex work include then? So there's an agreement. There's almost a tacit thing here. He ignores good advice. So you're admitting there's sex work. Okay, well, what is the sex work? We're going to have to get into that now. We're going to have to get into what sex work Alyssa did. We're going to have to get into what sex work she did. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That'll be very interesting. JT has been given opportunity after opportunity to de-escalate the situation. He has refused at every turn. And that refusal is stoked harassment by his followers. That stoking is by design. In fact, JT's conduct has become more and more extreme, including taunts directed at Mercante. Well, when you fucking threaten someone with a lawsuit and then nothing happens, they're going to poke fun at you. You and your attorneys threaten him with legal action and you fucking sat around for months. Like, if you threaten you're going to fuck somebody up, then you don't do it, they're going to call you out. That's such bullshit to sit there and argue, well, he's taunting us. Well, you said you were going to come after him. You claimed he called down the thunder. Okay, and there he sat. Not a fucking thing happened to him. You told him he was under the gun, and then he's like, well, where's the gun? So, asking a question answered by this document. Well, that is so fucking gay. This is so... answering a question, like, this is fucking Reddit tier shit. Yeah, you didn't fucking do it for a while, so what the fuck were you guys doing? Beating your dick for all these months. That is so fucking snarky. I can't wait till you guys get fucking felted. Can't wait. Can't wait till you get felted. Yeah, it's crazy for me to expect when you threaten me that you follow through on it. New York and the court should recognize a residual liability tort for stochastic terrorism when you've engaged in a targeted pattern of harassment directed at one person, with the express goal of otherwise tortiously interfering in that person's life or livelihood. That's not what stochastic terrorism is in there. It's an incitement to terrorism. You want incitement to terrorism. It's generally you want bad things to happen to that person. You're usually trying to get violent rhetoric out there, but the idea that it's just yeah. But remember, chat, at the end of the day, stochastic terrorism is a left-wing creation. It's a left-wing word. It's a left-wing term. So be careful about playing into it too much or reading into it too much. It's just something to think about. And then keep going, though. Because JT has stated on multiple occasions his goal is the removal of Alyssa from the video games journalism space, there is no doubt to his intentions. JT cannot claim that he is an influencer and political commentator, is merely participating in the marketplace of ideas, when his sole goal is to remove or otherwise silence voices in which he disagrees. Why? Why? I'm not allowed to run off bad ideas? Is that it? So, like, people who come on here, like, the idea is running bad ideas off or horrible ideas off. You can't do that? You can't do that? That's not allowed? Are we really going to say that? Part of the marketplace of ideas, yes. Shunning people and, society has multiple means of picking winners and losers. JT should be able to hide behind a pretense of free. I think this is supposed to be shouldn't. But they're saying he should be able to hide behind a pretense of free expression when the total sum of his actions have been in targeted hate mob against one person. Okay. Costing her livelihood, her peace, and her peace of mind. But it sounds like she kind of fucked herself. Yes. Am I a terrorist? Yes. We're all terrorists, chat. It's just like Al-Qaeda up in here. Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Yes, we're all terrorists, chat. We are all terrorists. I wish I had my shemag around. I'd wrap that up and we do it. Oh. I'd be Osama bin Bacon. JT's actions are unusual, extreme, and malicious. JT relies upon false statements, sensationalism, outright lies, and implications he possesses insider knowledge. He never reveals or substantiates. Okay, well, he can... How do you know he doesn't have it? JT relies upon the backing and presence of others within his social circle to harass and intimidate critics. I'm not in JT's social circle. I'm not his friend. I'm not his broski. I've ran into him once online. No, I just think you're fucking awful, Alyssa. That's why I'm doing this. I think you commies should suffer. That's all I'm here about. Commies should suffer everywhere. I wish Karl Marx would have suffered. Sadly, I can't get in a time machine and do that. Yes. Yes. Osama salami al sandwich. Yes, there we go. That'll be my terrorism name. When presented with conflicting views and evidence, JT ignores them and doubles down upon his lies and provocations. Ugh, God, that was a little speech mode there, stroke mode. Doing so has made JT successful within his space. JT therefore has little reason to change his behavior unless made to do so by the law. This court should impose new liability for stochastic terrorism in accordance with the sister court in Washington, so JT's wrongdoings do not go unpunished. And the alternative, the court should use the elements of prima facie torts here. That JT is engaged in intentional infliction of harm. He caused special damages without justification or excuse by otherwise lawful acts. Is it true as in the law that where there's an injury, there must be a cause of action to vitiate it? Some but not all aspects of JT's campaign are actionable as set out under the theories. Given element 4, if the court takes the prima facie tort approach, that would only cover the acts of damages not otherwise covered by a claim preceding the trial. And this complaint pleads prima facie tort in that regard as an alternative, not in junction with the claims above that cover the same territory as far as the other damages and relief. So they're basically admitting we really don't fucking have anything here. And yes, imagine me going back in time to get Mark saying, "Give me your clothes." I'm like, there wouldn't be enough clothes around in 1848 Germany to allow me to fucking dress up. I'd have to steal every jacket in town and sew them together. Alyssa has been undeniably suffered compensable damages within the jurisdiction of this court. Has she really? The prayer for relief. She wants relief as above and may deem proper. And it's by Lane Haygood. His admission is forthcoming. That means he's applied to get licensed, not only probably with the Eastern District of New York, but probably also in the state of New York. Don McGowan, he's pro hoc vice, meaning he's not coming in, he's temporarily tagging in. Okay, so he's with cameraman Unsoniker and Klein. And then Jay Remy, and he was also a former Canadian lawyer that worked for Bungie for quite a while and Halo and did all the shit with Halo. And then J. Remy Green, who has a bit of a history going back through things. And if you guys don't know who J. Remy Green is, well, you know, you're like, wow, some of this stuff's a little weird here. You know, when you look at things here, we're gonna just go to this real quick. J. Remy Green, you know, you have C and G, queer as in we are human beings. Okay, so the attorneys there's some attorneys. There's Elena Cohen. And then J. Remy Green. Yeah. Okay. Presented without comment. Remy, or if you're feeling formal, Mix Green. Mix Green, okay. You know, they can also be reached at Remy at femlaw.com. If you want to talk about Remy, their pronouns are they, their, and them. Well, see this sentence, and then an honorific mix, pronounced like mix. Okay, yeah. Totally the most stable law team ever. Totally the most stable law team ever. So there we go. And guys, remember, this guy, Lane Haygood, is the one up there who fucking cried like a little girl about being made fun of by JT. Oh, and it's nice. Lane actually has a fucking email address for the firm he claims to be part of now, finally. That's a big fucking deal. Instead of just being of counsel. The damages is that bad haircut. Yeah. This is a lawsuit 2.0. Yeah, this is getting there. Angela says, oh, Miss Green. Sounded like you're saying mix greens. No, MX. MX is the honorific for, well, that's a bullshit, you know, LGBTQ honorific. So it's kind of like Latinx. Instead of Latino or Latina, instead of Mr. or Mrs., it's mix. It's all fucking nonsense. Anyways, the attorneys for Alyssa Mercante. I'm like, just, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, chat. Oh my God. There it is. There it is. Oh. I don't know really how far this is going to get. I have a feeling Ron Coleman's going to come in there with like, and hew his way out of there with a fucking bloody axe. To quote Richard III, I think he's gonna Ron's gonna put in some work here, and I'm gonna reach out to him because I have some ideas on it, but it's just all commie gobbledygook. Once again, commie suffer. Do I predict this being thrown out? Probably at the summary judgment level. If this goes to discovery, Alyssa's in a lot of trouble. She's in a lot more trouble than anything. Remember, guys, when you have these chats claiming, when you have claims alleging psychological damage, you have to submit yourself to those to review. It's no different than if you claimed you had broke your leg in an accident. The other side could demand you submit to medical review of a doctor of their choosing. So she's liable for that. It's going to happen. Yes, Your Honor, they're clearly commies. All of them, just disgusting communists, and we know they must be removed. Is she doing this as a bluff? No, she's doing this because she's an idiot and people have probably gassed her up. And her attorneys have probably gassed her up a little bit. And she thinks she can do this. I'm assuming Alyssa's very kind of full of herself and definitely doesn't realize she's out over her skis. But, yeah. It's going to go bad. It's going to go bad. So is it Ron Perlman or Ron Coleman? Ron Coleman. So this lawsuit's going to fail, guys. It's going to fail. I don't think it gets past summary judgment. And I think even in New York, I mean, for part of it is, I think New York has a anti-slap. I think New York has an anti-slap. Yeah. New York's anti-slap it's not like Texas or California good, but it's pretty good. So, pretty sure Akiva Cohen gassed her up. He is the original locale lawyer for the Cucks firm, and he gassed her up to try to get her at the farms. Yep, he's the one. Remember, chat. One of the lawyers in this firm, one of their more prominent ones, one of their partners, fucking cried about the farms and tried to copyright pictures of his children so he couldn't be doxxed. And he got doxxed in the middle of Kick Vic and all the law Twitter shit. So, yeah, she literally asked people to fight her in the streets. I know. She literally wanted fucking violence. And now she's crying that she got violence. J-Rock says this lawsuit's going to fail like a Ricada motion. Oh, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So is JT going to get fees for this? Oh, I'm sure he's going to ask for attorney's fees. I'm sure Ron Coleman's going to get compensated very handsomely. There's going to be a lot of fees paid out on this. Maybe JT's going to have his own cause of action to go after her. Maybe he will. It'll be pretty funny. But yeah, this is not going to go anywhere. This is just absolute fucking garbage. Yeah, there'll be a lot more mocking her in the future. Yeah. Technically, she requested mutual combat. Yeah, she did. Yep. So, all right, guys, we got some super chats things to get to through here. Michelle is a new member. Michelle, thank you for the support and your generosity. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for re-upping. Unironically using alt-right in your filing in 2024. Yes. BobTube has been a member for 1 month. Says Ron Coleman has changed a lot since Mr. Olympia. Different Ron Coleman. But yes. Fair enough. Yamal says that's how you know hating Kotaku isn't racist, because when you hate Kotaku, you're hating a diversity of people. Yes. Torgo the White has been here 13 months. Says, the Alyssa Ben Stiller pick from Dodgeball. Yes. Jefferson Post says so much self-projection in this filing. Yes, a lot of self-reporting. In this filing. Jefferson Post again says assault is mined and brought to market, not formed. I know. That's how you know they don't understand this. You know, they're a bunch of normies trying to come into the world. It's like, you know, you think you may know this, but the memes betray you. The internet betrays you. I was raised by the internet. We were raised in it, chat. They merely are visiting. Marlene says that Alyssa and that Taylor chick, meaning Taylor Lorenz, could start a club. Oh, I'm sure they would. J-Dev said, didn't she dox people? Yeah, pretty sure she has. Oh, womp, womp, womp. Sicko Fit says, happy to see you, Sean. Happy to see you too, man. Thank you for being here. And then KMW, it's been a member for 4 months, says, thanks for covering this topic, Sean. You're very welcome. I thought it was very interesting. And KMW coming in and dropping 10 memberships, chat. That's right. 10 subs coming in here to help pray the gray away. That's right, chat. We are praying the gray away on this. We want to see green names everywhere. And grays, keep moving. This is a green-only chat. So do your part and help keep the gray away and pray it away. Jefferson Post says they should appreciate the alt-right's inclusivity. Yes, the alt-right's going after everyone. Jefferson Post says they can use some reactionaries like Chiang Kai-shek. James Hurley says Ricada is even defending Alyssa. Really? He is? I don't know. I mean, if he is, oof. Jefferson Post doing his part to pray the gray away, dropping 5 subs. Let's go, chat. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up out here, chat. Let's keep going. David from MLS, just reintroducing this again, guys. If you haven't stopped by there, definitely do so. Thanks for being here, David. I appreciate it. Jamie Moody's been a member for 4 months. Says, sad to see Breaking Baldo news taking a step back. Ew. Yeah. You know what? Real life happens, chat. Sometimes real life takes precedence. Also, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Heelsburst Babyface says, oh, so she was fired. Well, it's not even clear now. Was she fired or did she quit? Or how did it all work out? Because, yeah. And once again, as hello, thanks for stopping in. Analytical T gifted 10 subs. He's like, Grays, I'm praying you away tonight. I don't want you here. You know, just like games journalists, I don't want you in this chat. Just fans, just greens only. Thank you, Analytical T, for the support. And then EDW Raptor agreed. He's like, all the swords of man, all the swords of the greens must strike as one. And he joined in with 10 subs. And then AJ Arguello, he came in with 10 more of his own. And they teamed up to pray the gray away tonight, chat. Doing a great job. Each one of you guys, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it and your generosity. And whoever got one, I'm sure they're very appreciative. And then Yamal for $2 says Nick defending her equals Ralph and Queen Keffels. If Nick really is defending her, that's fucking hilarious. I mean, for once he is right. This is a defamation lawsuit. It is a defamation lawsuit. Mike says you can't stop us. Oh, give me a chance. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. We'll give it the old college try. Logical bystanders keeps dodging the green transitions left and right. Quit running. You'll just die tired. You'll just die tired. EDW Raptor says only fans are allowed here. Yes. Only fans allowed here. Wait. We need to have a comma in there. No, not like that. Porcelain Thunder says gray pride. Yes. From the shitpost to the re. The grays shall be free. The greens will not replace us. David Davis is a new member. Thank you, David. I appreciate the support. Sam Hartman saying, you can't green this gray, Sean. Don't worry. We're making a list, chat. We're making a list. David Davis says, I couldn't stay gray. Well, I appreciate that. Kimbo Nice. Kimbo, I don't know. Is that glory to Alyssa or is that glory to the Grays? Yes. Allahu Akbar. And something else. Nisanatic gifted 5 subs. Joining in. Thank you for the support and the generosity there. Thank you very, very much. And Hodor brings up a great point, and I didn't mention this. They didn't use Rico. So that is like, they get a gold, like, I'll give them like a gold star for that. You know, if I had a gold star, I'd be like, boop. They get to have a gold star on the report card. They didn't make a Rico claim. Surprising they didn't make a Rico claim. Because remember, chat, when civil law, Rico is never the answer. It's never Rico. Just, you know, I think if they thought there was somebody involved, they would have claimed some sort of conspiracy in RICO, but they didn't. But I'm surprised they didn't. Normally, you see that in dog shit lawsuits anyway. Mavka, they're flying the black flag, chat. Oh no! We really have to exterminate the Greys. They're getting out of control. They're radicalized now. They're jihadist. Maddie B's been a member for 5 months. Thank you, Maddie. Saying, buy your own goddamn subs, you brokies. Then EDW Raptor for another 10 subs. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Debony Doombringer says, no gifts for me since the update. No idea why. If you're on an iPhone, that's like the iPhones get weird with these. I don't know what to tell you. YouTube, I mean, you know, as you know, just like YouTube, you know, YouTube in China. I mean,
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
And YouTube is asshole too. YouTube is asshole too. So don't forget it, Chad. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. If it's never Rico, when is it? Because it's never Rico. Travis Laserman, thank you for being here. Saying, welcome to the gray zone. No Sir San is saying, every model airplane starts out as a gray, just saying, you know, that's a very profound statement. That's kind of like the Italian parable about when the game is over, the pawn and the king go back in the same box. But yes, every plane starts out as gray. Profound. But it's not gray anymore, chat. Eventually it gets transed by my hand. By these hands! Yes, they're building tunnels. The Greys are building tunnels everywhere. Job well done says, wait, these Greys are moderate. They're moderate Greys. J-Rock gifted 5 subs. Thank you, J-Rock. Dropping in a J-Dam loaded of subs to knock out these Greys and wipe them out. And Kimbo is probably talking about the Prophet at some point. I'm not sure. I don't know how to read that. But yes, squiggle on, my good man. Squiggle on. Yes, inshallah. The will of Allah. He wills it. And then Agbao Kim is gifted 5 more subs. He just came in. He's doing his part. He's holding the line, chat. He's holding the line against this fundamentalist menace out there. Yes, RICO is the lupus of the civil law world. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sounds like Google may have turned it off for her. Possibly. Yamal saying in the gun case, they said if there's an exception to one of the listed claims, it's not prima facie. If there is an exception to one of the listed claims, it is not prima facie. Does that apply here with her lawyer's admission at the end that some legitimate criticisms? No, I mean, when you're in civil and you're arguing in a civil context, things are a little different here. So I would argue no, but I'm not 100% sure what you're saying. I think I know what you're saying, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh no, Master Breadloaf is in here. Chat, they're getting out of hand. We need to stop them. I need help. I need some airstrikes. We need airstrikes, chat. It's like on 4chan. We need to call the Russian Air Force and tell them to start barrel bombing these guys. Nero says, am I going to cover Fudbusters before we get on Flashcast? I don't know if we're going to have time because it looks like Flash is about to start a little shortly. But we are going to do it. If we don't get to it today, I will do it tomorrow. We're probably going to do it tomorrow in the afternoon because we're going to have time. I want to give it all that it's entailed. So good news is, you know, Fudbusters got a nice little dub against Cody in the meantime. So we've got some stuff going on there. So sorry, Nero. We won't have time tonight. I apologize. This went a little longer than I anticipated. I thought I'd be done probably like in an hour and a half. So my apologies. Are we going for a goal tonight? No. Well, I mean, we can go for a goal, but I'm going to be going on Flashcast in a little while. So Yes, this is green country. I'm dodging these free greens like Trump and bullets. Kimbo's actually posting a recipe for ham. Well, that's even worse. We need to really get rid of him. The amateur iconoclast gifted 5 more subs. He's like, let's go, chat. We need to hold him back. Yes, we need a lot of pagers, chat. That'll be our group gift. If you're a gray, I'm going to send you a pager. Make sure you wear it. NEW Raptor get to 10 more subs. Thank you for the support, sir. We need Toyota Hiluxes. Yes, we do. As many as you could find, chat. Yes, Bert. And Ag gifted 5 more subs. Thank you, Ag. Thanks for doing your part to hold the line here. And Goalie said it, yes. Mr. President, the Grays have just taken Syria. Yamal saying, never seen Flashcast, but I'm excited with how fun this video was. Yes, Flash is usually late in starting Flashcast. But if I presume he's not going to be, he's going to be on time. That's how it goes, chat. Like when I'm in courts, and you're like, oh, my court's running late. I'll be able to make it to like the next, like, even if you have a hearing in like courtroom A, then you got to be in courtroom B. You're like, courtroom A runs long. You're like, yeah, it's okay. We'll be on time, Your Honor, because courtroom B is always late. Guess what happens that day? No, courtroom B is ready to go, and you get a call saying, hey, where you at? And you're like, I'm still next door. It's no foul, no harm, no foul. But yes, when you assume somebody's going to be late, they're always on time. When you assume they're on time, they're going to be late. That's just how it goes. Debony says, hey, I live flash his intro. Show me the Bobs. Yes, Bobs and Vagana, chat. Which one will it be? Clyde just wrote up a RICO case against me. Well, it shouldn't be against me. It should be against 2.0. She's the one yelling at him. PTSD Archive is saying Anita Sarkeesian is about to turn PR chud. LOL. Brianna Wu also changed her views since. And then it's weird to see. Oh, wait, you mean Anna? Well, you're not saying. Well, you're saying Anita Sarkeesian, or are you still talking about Anna Kasparian? They're both Armenians, but they're two very, very different women. Bob Boberson. Yeah, Bob Boberson is a very influential man. Bob Boberson is up there, with John Doe. Yes, the milk trucks just arrived. And Clyde Coin chat is always going to the moon. Buy Clyde Coin. And guys, if you are new, Clyde is my dog. He's actually in dog jail right now. He's in air jail. He's being held, I'm pretty sure, because he was being a bad boy. So I don't think we're gonna get to see him tonight. Hold on, give me a second. I'll see if I can grab Clyde. Give me 1 second, chat. And we're back, chat. We got Clyde. He's our bestest boy. Mwah. He's such a good boy. You want me to pick you up, buddy? We'll hold you a different way. Lion King style. But there's Clyde. I know you guys look for him. There he is. Such a good boy. Mwah. Done being in trouble outside? You have anything you want to say? Huh? Building 7? USS Liberty? Anything? Okay, I guess he's said his piece for the night, chat. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, Sean, if you had put on the Baldo to save the world, would you do it? Sorry, chat, no. Nope. I would not wear the Infinity Baldo. I would not do it. I would not do it. Yes, Clyde will get busted out of Slammer. Well, I did. I got him. I got him out. He's a good boy now. Bendover says, wasn't Building 5 the one with the bomb? Well, I mean, well, no, but there's, Building 7 had the issue. And then when the plane hit the accounting section of the Pentagon, yeah, just makes you think. Makes you think. Clyde kept his mouth shut about the Haitians who came after him. Yeah, he took care of business. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. A good boy. He's such a good dog. All right. Afix, and we're probably going to end on this chat. We got to land the plane here. It says, yo, talk about the drone stuff in New Jersey and how we're being told not to do anything, yet they don't know what it is. If it glows, let's be real. It's a going out of war sale. Everything's up to 50% off. So yeah, there's some weird stuff with the drones, but there's also people freaking out at times, like helicopters and airplanes are an actual thing. But there is some issue with these drones. What the hell are they? I mean, it's just like the weather balloon thing the Chinese were doing, the reconnaissance balloons. For a week, we weren't told anything about them. And then after a while, the government's like, oh yeah, we were shooting down Chinese surveillance equipment that was unobstructedly flying across the country. And then, oh yeah, we caught a Chinese guy over at Vandenberg Air Force Base photographing missiles and other ballistic technology. So we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows at this point? Who knows? Who really knows at this point, chat? So I don't think we'll know. And who knows if the government's really going to tell us, hey, Clyde, can I put you down, buddy? Can I put you down so I can work on some stuff? Okay. I'm going to put you down, Bubba. There you go. Good boy. Hold on here, chat. He needs his best treats in the world. You guys would need treats for your dog to chill him out. These things, Nature Vet, and you can get them on Amazon. These hemp treats calm him down pretty good. But he's just been a good boy so far. So I'm just gonna get your two, Clyde. Get your little doggy bong rips. So we'll say they work really good. So let's see here. I'm going to set up one thing. But in the meantime, chat, thank you all for being here tonight. Like I said, I thought we'd do a little bit more. We kind of ran out of time. We will get to the Fudbuster stuff tomorrow. I'll talk to Matt, see what his schedule is tomorrow. If he can come on. If he can't, we'll just go ahead and do it anyway. But I will make sure we set that quite a bit ahead of time. Let me see here. So we're going to do that. And so, yeah, guys, in the meantime, I'll redirect you over to Flashcast. I know Thermo's got the pre-stream going. I'm probably going to go hang out over there for a minute. And sending you footage my buddy got over his house. Please do. potentiallycriminal@gmail.com. So, chat, remember until next time, that is it. We'll find out what Ron Coleman's response and JT's response is going to be. It'll probably be a couple weeks. They have 21 days to respond at minimum. They can also expand that time per the rules. They could seek an extension. So it can, sometime this month they'll respond. Sometime this month, they have till the end of the month. But remember, the holidays get in the way. So it probably won't be till the beginning of January we see a response. We'll go through it from there. And chat, remember until next time, just because you did does not mean you're guilty. But in this case, just because JT did it, he's done nothing wrong. Suffer, Alyssa, you're going to lose. You are going to lose. And like you taunted everybody, well, everybody fucking came after you. So deal with it. So take care, everybody. And I will see you guys next time. Have a nice night, chat.
blacksmithing and models of planes, esoteric works and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy